The primary objective of transportation is to move people, goods and services from one place to another. Transportation is at the center of all economic and social activities. The efficiency of how goods are moved from one place to the other has become a measure of the quality of life and economy of the people of a particular environment. It is also a measure of the level of development a community has achieved. In Nigeria, the major means of transport across the states is by road. A larger percentage of the country's economic activities are through this transportation system. It thus goes without saying that any state that desires an improvement in the lives and economy of its people will need to pay priority attention to its transport sector. In this regard, it can be said without doubt that Ogun State, under the current administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun, has taken transport sector to a level that serves the people and the state effectively. No good transportation system will be efficient without a good road network to support it. That is why the administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun, upon assumption of office, began construction of good roads across the 3 senatorial zones of the state. With good roads in place, Ogun State was ready for complementary transport schemes. Thus, on the 23rd of August 2012, at the arcade ground Okimoson, Abeokuta, Ogun State, Governor Ibikunle Amosun inaugurated the bus mass transit scheme. The scheme is aimed at reducing the enormous challenges encountered in conveying people, goods and services within intercity and intrastate routes.
God bless God.
It is believed that these buses will ply our roads and carry more passengers, thus reducing the need for everyone to put their own vehicle on the road and incurring costs on the maintenance of the vehicles. Therefore, as the numbers of vehicles on our roads are reduced, it will also reduce the propensity for road accidents and casualties arising from such. The road will also be freer, thus reducing the man-hour wasted in road traffic jams. Today's event is therefore a fulfillment of another of our electoral promises to the good people of Ogun State.
A total number of 77 mass transit fully air-conditioned buses were launched at the arcade ground, comprising 50 small capacity buses for intra-city travels and 27 high-capacity buses for intercity movements.
The idea of government getting involved is to make sure that the good people of Ogun State enjoy what we call one of the world-class transportation system, such that our people will begin to see all the commitments, all of those things that we promised when we were campaigning around.
Following the launching of the mass transit buses, the administration also commissioned the Igbaotun Taxi Scheme. This is aimed at further improving the standard of vehicles used for transportation across the state.
This is a new dawn in the overall development of our state. On our own, apart from the fact that these new vehicles will enhance smooth transportation, we are also making a statement and setting standard for vehicles that will now ply our roads. It is only Ogun Standard vehicles on Ogun Standard roads that will make Ogun Standard transportation system a reality. I call on all stakeholders in the transportation industry to come together to ensure the success of this program. Law enforcement agencies such as police, Federal Road Safety Commission, Trades, Vehicle Inspection, and the Transport Union such as National and Road and all others must come together to ensure the success of this mass transit program and ensure that our roads become safer for all users.
After the introduction of the BMT buses and the Igbaotun Taxi Scheme in Ogun State, the administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun, in collaboration with members of the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers (NURTW) and members of the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria in Ogun State, distributed the buses to some garages where passengers can be transported. Their collaboration with the unions was to enable drivers of the union acquire the taxis and pay back in installments, among other incentives. The Bureau of Transportation is responsible for the transportation policy in Ogun State. 2 years after the launch, Mr. Gbenga Okwesonwo, Special Advisor to the Governor on Transportation, gives an insight on how the buses have fared so far.
We have what you call a 3-in-1 program. And when I say 3-in-1 program, we had the intra-city transport, we had the intercity transport, and we had the interstate. We also had the ones that the government directly regulated. In other words, the government will say runs, operates. And we have the ones that the unions operate. And we also have the ones that the private sector operates.
While some of the 18-seater buses shuttle within the different major towns in the state, the mass transit buses shuttle within the town and also render services at discount rates. 2 of the buses were also set aside for transporting civil servants to work in the morning and at close of work from the State Secretariat at Okemoso to Kuto Roundabout, Abeokuta, at a cheaper rate. The SA on transportation spoke further on why the taxis are not run like other taxis we see on the roads.
Every modern society, what is expected to run the stopping service are buses. The taxis are just meant to be dropping you from one point to the other. So the taxis are operational. The taxis are not, and they're not just in Abeokuta alone, mind you. They operate all around the state. I see some of them going from Abeokuta, for instance, at the convention now that is being held at the Redeem Convention. People charter them to take them to the convention. People charter them to go to weddings and social functions. So far, as far as I'm concerned, the taxis are achieving what they're designed to achieve.
The special advisor also spoke on complaints going round that the buses are not enough.
Prior to the involvement of government, the administration, in regulating bus transportation, the people had a way by which they were commuting. And they were dependent on what I would call the informal sector, the ad hoc sector, the unregulated buses operated by the unions. So a whole lot of these people are leaving the buses operated by the unions and coming to the ones operated by the state. And the ones operated by the state are not enough to take care of all of these people. But naturally, if you see something that is better, you will move in that direction. And so I can only assure them that we're working hard at it to get the buses that will meet their demands, their needs, and use them for serving them better.
Aside the provision of good roads in the state, as well as the launching of an efficient transport system, safety standards have also been put in place by the administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun. This is to ensure that passengers arrive their destinations safely. The engagement of men of the Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps has been able to minimize the rate of mishaps on the roads. Road signs, traffic lights and speed bumps, walkways have been put in place to ensure safety of commuters to and fro their destinations.
We have also done a number of public enlightenment programs on radio, on TV, all right, to educate people on what these signs mean. Aside that, we are also proposing to set up a sort of driving school, in which case that will be directly regulated by the state government, where we'll train the people who in turn train drivers. This, in our own way, will be a measure to improve on the driving habits of our people.
The level of successes recorded in the transport sector has been attracting private investors to Ogun State. This is as a result of the standard of roads and infrastructural development in the state. Stakeholders in the transport sector have continued to speak on the initiative behind the BMT buses and taxis. According to them, it is a welcome development as it has improved the productivity of workers in the state. Mr. Bode Dinyo is the Managing Director, Mint and Seal Services, one of the companies managing and partnering with Ogun State government on the BMT buses. He spoke on the impact the transport scheme has had in the state.
It is the vision of the present administration under His Excellency Governor Amosun that Ogun State's economy will be turned around. There will be a reform in all sectors, including the transport sector. You can all see that even the aesthetics of the transport system has been transformed from what it used to be. I can imagine in 4 or 5 years ago what it used to be. Now you now have a regulated service, a regulated transport service that people predict where to take their buses and what bus to take to. It's cheaper, it's affordable, the price is fixed, the road is smoother, and again the environmental condition, less pollution now.
For them as partners, the effort of government on the roads has further encouraged them to bring in their buses to Ogun State. According to the leaders of the National Union of Road Transport Workers (NURTW) and the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria (RTEAN) Ogun State chapter, the arrangement with the government whereby their members were allowed to acquire the buses and taxis and pay back in installments has provided a rare opportunity to their members in Ogun State.
The governor has been providing many buses for us, tier nylon. And we have been using the vehicles over 2.5 years now. Even some of our members have paid the money back to the governor out of the vehicle. So the remaining, they are still paying the money back in installment. But we enjoy the government because we are using the motor in our park. And all our members enjoy it. But the government gives us the vehicle installment without any interest on it.
It has transformed the life of our members, the beneficiary. Though the bus is not enough, we still want the government to give us more. But the little that they gave us and the beneficiaries and our members that benefited from the scheme, they really enjoy it. And in fact, they have been paying the instrumental payment duly as at when due. So it has really transformed the transportation sector, transportation our members, because when they are using the buses to work, to do their daily transportation business, they generate income that they use to feed their own family too. So it has really transformed us, and we really enjoy the scheme. So we plead with His Excellency that he should give us more of the buses.
The introduction of the BMT buses and the taxi scheme is for the easy movement of people within Ogun State and to other parts of the country. 2 years after their launch, these schemes have provided a lot of ease in transportation. Drivers and others have a lot to say on how the transport scheme has impacted their lives and the state in general.
The changes there is that people are enjoyable the taxis. Mostly, people in the town, they are enjoying that because the shatter of the payment of the taxi is the same thing with the individual own. There's no any overcharges or overprices in our taxi, so they enjoy it.
The passengers who have been patronizing the transport scheme introduced by the government of Senator Ibikunle Amosun have continued to appreciate the quality of service rendered through these vehicles in the last 2 years. According to them, it is very convenient.
Although this is my first time of entering the bus, and the bus is very good and is conducive. The state government, so we pray for you to do better than this, more and more for us. God will continue to be blessing the state government in the mighty name of Jesus.
We so much enjoy these services, this transport service bus. But because anytime I come to Abeokuta like this, I enjoy this service. I come immediately. We get here, we enjoy it from here to Jebode. So fast, so convenient.
The government is trying, but this type of thing is encouraging. It's convenient to sit down in a bus of this type, unlike taxis. It's not. You see how small is taxi? It's not convenient. We will be packed up in a taxi. That's why I am saying that I thank the government for providing this, but it is encouraging they should provide more for other citizens.
Látìgbà tí mo dẹ̀ ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ ńbẹ̀ náà, so mo rí pé àyípadà rere ó bá ìgbésí ayé mi. So nínú salary tí mò ń gbà, mò ń tọ́jú ọmọ, mo ń tọ́jú ìyàwó, so mo dẹ̀ ń tọ́jú ilé, so mo rí pé àyípadà rere ó bá ìgbésí ayé mi.
On Friday, 8th of August 2014, the Ogun State Governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, announced the reduction of school fees of all state-owned higher institutions. Speaking through the State Commissioner for Education, Barrister Segun Odubela, at a press conference held at the conference room of the Ministry of Education, Okimoson. The governor said this is in fulfillment of his promise to the students during his electioneering campaign.
Today, His Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, FCA, has approved a reduction across the board of school fees in all our state-owned tertiary institutions. In the new school fees regime, 61% less than what they are currently paying.
Following this reduction, the students of the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic and some other institutions converged at the arcade ground on Thursday, 14th August to show their appreciation to the governor for the reduction.
We want to appreciate Senator Ibukule Amosun for giving us this opportunity. It's not for the students alone, also to our parents, because our parents are the ones paying this money. Achievement, another achievement, double achievement. We are Oliver Twist. We will continue to ask for more. He reduced our tuition fee. He gave us our special advisor to him on student matters. He has given us our student union buses. He has given us our governing council. What else do we want? What else are we agitating for? We are agitating for one thing, and not soon for second time. If you ask all our leaders, we discussed, we have several meetings on this issue of reduction, and even when we recommended to our governor that this is what we want, he said no, you have not reduced it yet, go further, and we still reduce it. No, to the extent that 61% that the governor have reduced. You see, you know what you have done today is good because you have come to appreciate him. Yes. I can tell you that we will deliver your message and we will continue to do more.
As the chairman of the Committee on Education, I want to check. I have checked the record of House of Assembly, and I have not seen it where school fees have been reduced in Ogun State. This is the first time that school fees is being reduced in Ogun State.
Some hours after the gathering that same day, students of the Olabisi Onabanjo University (OOU) staged a contrary protest down to the governor's office to show their dissatisfaction on the reduction of the school fees as it concerns their own institution.
What was not mentioned in the news is that the reduction will be effective from next session. Yes. Now, the grievances of all our students are just simple. We don't want any reduction that will not take effect from this session.
Yes.
That's one.
Yes.
Then secondly, the reduction as made known by the government does not reflect the interest or the desires of the students in Olabisi Onabanjo. Yes. Because what we are demanding is that any school fees that is beyond 50,000 naira is unacceptable to us.
Yes. We can't achieve anything now without having your ESCO, particularly your SUG president. Because with all other SUG presidents in all other institutions, we sat down to agree on this fees. In fact, the one after we agreed, we took it back to the governor, who further reduced it. So I will suggest that we will have him to come back. Please go back to your schools.
On Friday, 15th August, the protest took another turn as students of the Olabisi Onabanjo University converged in their large number at the Kutu roundabout, disrupting the flow of traffic, demanding an immediate implementation of the policy, considering the fact that their school has just resumed. Governor Ibukule Amosun on that same day held an emergency meeting with the president of the Students' Union of the Olabisi Onabanjo University (OOU) and other union members to know their demands and to know their opinion as part of measures to forestall any further breakdown of law and order. Governor Ibukule Amosun directed that the Committee on Reduction of the School Fees meet with the students and other relevant bodies to come up with immediate solution to the students' demand.
See what you can do between now and maybe in 1 week. Call them, meet with them, quickly get back to me. Let me put it on record. I will not repeat not. When students are unruly, when you are on the road, that is not we are not Lagos. We are Ogun State. I will not, as governor, have been saddled with the responsibility to govern this state. I will not. I will only talk to students that are reasonable, students that conduct themselves in a civil way.
After After the deliberation at the governor's office, the governor and the student union leaders met with the protesting students and students of other higher institutions at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Kuto, where buses were distributed to the students. Addressing the students at the stadium, the governor expressed dissatisfaction with the way and manner the students conducted themselves and advised them to unite with their fellow students at other higher institutions as the only way to move forward.
Whatever money that we reduce now, we must find a way to give back to the school, otherwise they cannot cope. Because the money they've been collecting from you, once we stop them now to say don't collect, reduce, that means what is reducing in their bus, the state government must find a way to operate them. Just wait. As we speak, we of course have promised that the committee will meet next time when you have issues. Use the official channel.
A total of 15 buses were presented to the representatives of all the state-owned higher institutions and the Ogun State chapter of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS.
For comments, questions, and observations, send a text to 080-9578-9802 or 081-0672-1434, or send an email to missiontorebuild@gmail.com. Be a part of rebuilding our beloved gateway state.
Ọmọ Ogun, Ìṣẹ̀yà.